Now we are live. We can start, George sir.
Can we start?
Yeah, we can start.
It recorded, George?
Yes. YouTube, it is. Good evening, everyone. Today it's a solemn day. We are meeting to remember and pay homage to a dedicated teacher, a very remarkable teacher of physics, Professor Satyanarayana. I request Dr. Umar Ramchandran, President of Breakthrough Science Society, Tamilnadu, to start the proceedings.
Good evening, everybody. We have all gathered here, as you all know, to pay tribute to Professor SVM Satyanarayana. He passed away on September 16th of this year, battling cancer. Very untimely death. He was just 52. He was at the time a professor of the Department of Physics in University of Pondicherry. I'm sure that not only the students of this university class will remember him as a great teacher and a mentor, especially in physics. As many of you know, that he has mentored hundreds of students, taught concepts of physics to hundreds of students in an informal Sunday class. Even as early as his research days in IGCAR and Kalpakkam, when some students came forward and asked him to explain a few concepts, difficult concepts, he was very willing and readily took up this task. This evolved into a very steady class. The venue shifted to Chennai, to the University of Madras, and every Sunday he used to gather students, especially master's students who were aspiring to become to crack the CSIR net exams and who had difficulty in understanding difficult concepts in physics. He took these classes meticulously, with dedication, without any fees, and so his students were mainly from not very well off strata of the society, and many of them benefited and are now holding good positions as teachers and research scholars in and around India. So I do not want to elaborate too much, as many of you are going to speak. We would like to spend today listening to some of the experiences of his students and others. There's one more thing I would like to say, is that during COVID time, when his classes were not physically possible, Breakthrough Science Society gave him an option to take online physics classes, and he took it up eagerly. I was also fortunate to hear 2 of his lectures, very delivered simply and understandably, and even to a non-physics person was a treat to hear. And moreover, he was the advisory committee member of Breakthrough Science Society, and we shall sorely miss him. With these few words, I think we should start the proceedings. But can I request all of you to observe a minute silence, starting now. Thank you. I request George Joseph to take over and call the speakers to carry on with the meeting. Thank you.
Now I request Professor H.S. Mani, a very senior professor. He had also associated and helped to conduct the classes in the initial days. Professor H.S. Mani is been in the Chennai Mathematical Institute. I request Professor H.S. Mani to say a few words.
Okay. Thank you, Professor George. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, good. And my first knowledge of Professor Satya came through another great physicist of our country, Professor Rajshekaran. He told me whether I would like to teach on Sunday classes. And he knew that I was very interested in teaching. So I went and met Satyanarayana on a Sunday at the university where he used to conduct classes. I met him. He seemed a very modest person. And after 1 or 2 lectures, we would go and have some coffee and come back. And he would walk me to the bus stand or whatever arrangement I had to go back home. During the process, I slowly realized this man knows his physics extremely well. And the basic difference between the way I used to handle school teaching was I taught in IIT Kanpur, where the kind of students who came were already well versed with the basics in high school. But the ones which were being taught on Sunday classes did not have that luxury. So I'm curious to know how you could handle such a mixed variety of classes. So I would sit in his lectures, and then I realized what a remarkable teacher he is. One of the greatest teachers I met. One of the best teachers I had was teaching optics to me in my master's program, Professor Verma, and he would match him completely. He would never show impatience, would never raise his voice. It was all uniformly taught, very well done. And I can understand why the students are in love with him. In fact, in one of these meetings very recently, one lady professor told that life before Satya is very different from life after Satya. What a remarkable person he was. If anybody tells me today that such a person exists, I would find it difficult to believe unless I had met him. He also happens to be married to a lady who is from Nagarkoil, my hometown. So once in a while, by accident, I met him there. And then again, we would sit for about half an hour for a cup of coffee and discuss some physics. His breadth of knowledge of physics was very high. He could teach any course at any time, explaining all the subtleties of the physics involved. Another thing which is very important for us to realize is that this arrangement of having memorial for him right across various teachers, students in Tamil Nadu is very heartwarming. He doesn't belong to any serious academic institutions like Tata Institute or universities like or IITs. He was teaching in University of Pondicherry, worked with students who had not sufficient knowledge and could train them so well that many of them could continue their work, academic work. No wonder all the students respect him so much because their whole life got turned on by him. With these few words, I would like to pay my homage and pray to the Almighty to give their family the great amount of strength which is needed to bear this big loss. Thank you.
Now I request Dr. Shubhashree Deshikan. She is a writer in the Hindu science page. She had also long association with Prof Satyanarayana.
Thank you, Dr. Joseph. I'm no longer with the Hindu. I'm with IIT Madras' Shastra magazine. I worked with the Hindu for 10 years, and during this time, I've written about Dr. Satyanarayana twice in the Hindu. But the first time I heard about him was in 2002, when Umal Momin, who later became my sister-in-law, I was at that time going steady with her brother. So I got to know about Momin. Momin was a MSc physics student, and she came and told me that there are Sunday classes edukranga romba nalla irukku, she told me. And that is, the Sunday classes are going on and they are very good. I came from I've been always educated in convents and in math science and all that. So I came with a sort of cynicism that should not be there, but it was there. But when I saw the papers that she was handling and the problems that they were being solved, her understanding of physics was much better than mine, I should say. And that was partly due to, she may have been a good student, but the contribution of Dr. Satyanarayana, who was teaching in the Sunday school, really improved her knowledge so much that she later went on to do her PhD in IIT Madras, and she crossed the GATE exam. And then she went abroad for her postdoc, and now she's a faculty member in VIT in Vellore. So Momin is only one of them. There are many, many such students that Dr. Satyanarayana has honed. And so this was in 2002, 20 years back. And later on, when I came to the Hindu, I was myself a science journalist, and I was, Prabhu brought this attention to me. Joseph Prabhakar brought my attention to Dr. Satyanarayana once again. And he introduced me to him, and I even attended one of the Sunday classes, and it was such a mind-blowing experience, how the whole classroom was transformed into, all the students were made to be so enthusiastic, and he would engage with everyone in the class, and it was really a miracle to see. And such a teacher is so rare, and I cannot help feeling slightly jealous that, I wish I had been one of his students too. But it was all for the good, and I was really very much overawed by the way the students were also getting into teachers, and the whole many students were also teaching when he was unable to come and take class. Many students were teaching, and then he had brought in people like Professor Rajashekaran and Professor Mani, and so in the 20 years, in the 15 years or so that had passed by, the classroom had transformed into they were doing YouTube classes and all that. During the pandemic, they tried doing remote classes, and the number of students who have been touched by this is so enormous. It is a very humbling experience. Again, in the second time I wrote about Dr. Satyanarayana was when the Sunday classes completed 25 years. Imagine, for 25 years, and he started when he was very young. It was not as though he was very established and then he could come and teach and all that. His own career was forming, and at that time he was able to spare the time to come and groom so many other students. So the 25 years of his achievement is really a remarkable one. That's what I wrote in my article. And it was a really humbling experience. That's all I can say. Many of us say many things and we feel so many things, but here's a person who's actually doing it. So his demise is a great loss to society, and I really, I was so shaken when I heard the news. I knew that he had been battling cancer, but here is a great one taken away just too soon. And I hope and pray that his family gets the courage to handle this loss. And I pay my homages to him as a great teacher and as a great person who never wanted any limelight thrown on him, who was doing all this silently. I really I wish I could have told him when he was alive how much I respect his work. I hope that some of it we managed to convey to him. And his students loving him so much. I hope that somewhere he's able to still feel that. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to say these words, and thank you, Dr. George Joseph.
I request a student of him, Sayapan.
Sir, am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, sir. I'm not able to turn on the video because I'm speaking from the desktop.
Please go ahead. No
problem.
Yeah, thank you. In 2004, I was studying my BSc in Thiruvannamalai Government Arts and Science College. At that point of time, Satya sir decided to give a 3 problem-solving session in Dindivanam Government Arts and Science College. That is 60 kilometers far away from Thiruvannamalai. My class teacher told us that I never seen like Satyanarayana who understand fundamentals of physics so clearly. With that introduction, I decided to attend his problem-solving session. I attended his class, and after that, after finishing my MSc also, I not able to clear any of the competitive exam. So I decided to go. At that time, he was a faculty in Pondicherry University. I went to Pondicherry University and I told him that I have a desire to become a scientist. So I'm not able to join any university for PhD. So please help me. And I did not remember what he told me, but 2 things I remember, that he motivated me that anyone can clear the competitive exams, only it takes time, depends on the person. And second thing, he suggested me to attend this Sunday class. So I was attending this Sunday class, and after attending a few months, I qualified for the Hyderabad University PhD interview. That time I was not able to, I missed the gate by 0.83 marks. And I did not had any exposure to going out of the state also. So what he did was, understanding with my situation, he asked one of his Sunday class student to book a Tatkal train ticket for me, and also he asked is one of MSc student from Pondicherry University. That time he was doing MTech in Hyderabad University. He called him and asked him to take care of me to reach the Hyderabad University. I would like to say this because that is the extent he wanted to help the student. His help is not just teaching, did not stop only in teaching in the classroom. So after that, unfortunately, I was not able to do the progress in Hyderabad University. And then once again, I met him and told about my situation. Then he suggested me to, okay, with this situation, if you can resign from there, and then you can start your PhD in some other places. And then I joined a PhD in Central and Tamil Nadu. During that time also, he helped me a lot. I'm not going into detail because many of them may speak. So without his help, again, I would have not finished my PhD there. I finished my PhD in Central and Tamil Nadu in 2018. And before joining in Central and Tamil Nadu, a few months I stayed in Chennai. That time I was attending once again the Sunday class. Some point of time, Satya sir was planning to attend refresher's course, and that time he told me that you can also take the tutorial in Sunday class. I really felt like previously I was only attending the class. Now Satya sir asked me to take the tutorial. I felt like I got a promotion. So with that, I took some of the tutorials. It really changed my approach towards solving the problem. That time I qualified NET as well as a GATE. Apart from that, I had some problem in getting a recommendation letters. So during that time also, for 3 postdoc in ISR Mohali and JNCSR Bangalore and IMSC Chennai, where I'm currently doing my postdoc. For that, he also gave me recommendation letters. So without his help, I won't say it's only from the what I learned from his classroom, the Sunday classroom in Madras University. Beyond that, he helped me a lot. He helped me enormously. Without that, I don't think I would have continued my research, or I won't be in this position. So this if I able to do something in research, that credit goes to him. And with that, I was with him during his last days. Even that time also, he does not have any expectation from the students, but I also felt he has a sense of satisfaction in creating the students to follow their passion. I would say making them able to follow their passion. So it was very difficult for us to see our teacher see in the situation as well as this early loss. Because if would have allowed another 20-30 years, so many of them would have got benefited. So many of the students' life would have been transformed. Of course, their family personal loss is one side. Is another important loss for the society, and so many of the students' life would have been changed with him. Yeah, that I would stop this.
I request Abhijit, who is also a student, and he has also been taking classes. Abhijit.
Hello, sir. Sir, to start with, I had an opportunity to meet him personally, apart from the online class that I attended. Like, I could say one thing about sir is that he loved teaching, and he always helped a lot. Like, even for my MSc project, he suggested me to go to IGCAR to do the project, and I literally that transformed the way that I think about science. Like, I could incorporate the scientific thinking in my in myself. And moreover, he like, when you meet a person itself, like, you can understand most of like how the person will talk and and convey the message. But when I met him, I could understand that he's a kind of personality that like, he has so much charm in him. Like, he would whenever like we had some, even if the doubt is so silly, he would explain in such a way that we don't feel ashamed to ask question. And for that like like cultivated the thing called the questioning the answer. Like I didn't have that approach before. Like I always study the question answer. Like I didn't bother about questioning the answer itself. Like it was all about kind of a mugging up. Then I had understood that understanding the answer also plays an important role to understand more of it, and it totally changed my mind. I'm not able to convey that properly, but he is a kind of person I don't know, like I wish that he would have been some more years, so that as Ayyappan sir said, that it would be more benefit to the young students and transform. Like I also missed that opportunity, that if you have been there, like it would have been like much more better. Like it's I have no words to say that, and I totally miss him. Thank you, sir.
I request Joseph Prabhakar, who was a very devoted student and teacher, who had also been very much been associated with Prof Satyanarayana.
Thank you, George. It is, in fact, I can say that I lost a most important person in my life. Not only as a teacher, he is a kind of fatherly figure to me. As Professor Mani rightly pointed out, my life after meeting Satya sir is completely different from before I meet Satya sir. So many things to share, but let me start from as a what I personally gained, then what he did to the society, and what are his facets. Actually, not only contribute to Sunday class, there are other aspects of other facets of Satyanarayana's teaching. So basically, I did my schooling and BSc, MSc in normal colleges, where, as Mr. Anupuram also pointed out, we did not have enough basics to even attend this kind of competitive examinations, or even we don't have any confidence to talk about physics, to teach physics. So in the situation around 2009, I was about to complete my MSc. Almost I completed MSc. I was doing MPhil. So I heard about Satya sir class. He is teaching in nuclear physics department, Madras University. Then I started to attend. Then slowly, initially I find it a little difficult, but slowly I got inspired by his teaching, and slowly I got transformed completely. That every student felt the same transformation that we used to call it's the Satya's transformation. So then around 2011, so 2009 I started to attend, and 2011 then suddenly one day he asked me, "Why don't you teach, Joseph?" So it's a kind of that's a kind of he somehow find out that there is a teacher inside me. Then it's a kind of unforgettable moment in my life, that why don't you teach, Joseph? So then I got a kind of little bit confidence, and he gave a lot of suggestions to teach. And initially I was doing a lot of problems, and slowly I started to teach theory, and he gave a full freedom. And in fact, I started to coordinate the class, Sunday class, for almost from 2011 onwards to 2000, before almost COVID, and in fact also we coordinated the online COVID session. So in the process, I became a teacher. And in fact, he told a lot of times that I'm a good teacher. So in fact, so it must be then true, as since he told, so I believe that I'm a good teacher. And he took me to so many, not only inside the Sunday class, we traveled to so many places, almost so many colleges inside Tamilnadu, and also to Kerala. So the Sunday class, mainly we have to understand the kind, as already Professor Mani mentioned, the students, what kind of students that they come for the Sunday class. Mostly the government college students, and we all know that nowadays who are all going to government college, or who are all going to government school, the same kind of the social what kind of social conditions they belongs to, a social structure, the social status they belongs to. So most of them are very underrepresented. They did not have any quality education in their colleges. They are not very, as Professor Mani mentioned, they are not very academically luxurious students. So they are very deprived. So, and the Sunday class, as everyone knows that, he ran for free, and they started to come to this class. The first important thing that he makes sure, in fact, he spoke about how he was running the class for 25 years. The first important condition is no selection criteria or no selection condition for this attending this class. So that is the first important, because once you started to select automatically, these students will not be able to come inside. As we know that so many exams for so many institutes, we have so many institutes inside India, and most of the institutes, if you want to get inside, you need to qualify the exam. But qualify the exam, you need to have good understanding of physics. You have to crack the exam. But since they don't have any proper, they don't get any quality education in their school or in their, because of this social status. So it's a kind of a cyclical problem. So in that scenario, the Sunday class is a kind of acted as a kind of bridge. In fact, I gave a kind of presentation in the Sunday class Silver celebration. There are two kind of academic world in this India. One is the IIT, Institute of Mathematical Science, IGCAR, all these top class research institute. There are other academic world in this India. One is called like Presidency College, Anupuram College, all kind of government colleges. So there is a infinite barrier between this. Most of the students who completed their degree in their these government colleges or this kind of colleges, they could not be able to qualify. They go to this. There is a great barrier. So Sunday class acted as a kind of bridge between these two academic world, and because of his entire free the teaching, the excellent, the greatest teaching, the students got inspired and life got completely transferred. So after 1 or 2 years, slowly they also got enough strength, enough understanding of physics. Then they could be able to qualify. They could be able to qualify the exam, and slowly they move into this side. So in fact, we did a kind of a small research on during the 25th year celebration. I collected around 125 or 129 the Sunday class present and old student, those who are settled in big academic institutions like IIT or IGCAR or IMSC or wherever. So we collected and we asked various questions, how you come and what are the exams you qualify. Almost all of the qualify exam. There are very interesting point that we found out in that 129 students who got they are now senior scientists or senior professors in various colleges or institutes. They told that around 129, around 63% of people belongs to first generation. So that is we can understand what is the achievement of Sunday class, what is the achievement of Satya sir. In fact, I gave a title, Sunday class, a story of social justice. That's what. So he brought a social justice into the science education. Otherwise, without Sunday class, this would not have happened. They would have completed some degree, they would have got some school or somewhere, they do some kind of jobs. But they are now in scientists or teachers. You know, if wherever you go to, like Manohar Sundara University, Bharat University, Bharat University, Gandhigram University, wherever you go, so at least one student from Sunday class in working as an assistant professor, senior professor, or any institutes. So this is so I treat the Sunday class as a kind of reformation happened in the science education or physics education in Tamilnadu for the last 25 years. As a single man, he could be able to achieve as whatever a university achieved. So in fact, I can trace as a kind of, he did not belong to any institution. He himself is an institution. So only for an institution can do this kind of activity, but as a single person with a very dedication and commitment, he could be able to brought this social change. It's not even, he did not change as an individual, one person life, 2 person life. In fact, he brought a kind of social change in this student's life. If you try to count the students who are benefited from this Sunday class, at least more than, it will go more than 1,000. So that's a very important, I consider that because we talk about nowadays more of social justice, and mostly the South India, southern states like Kerala and Tamil Nadu, we talk about the representation. So the Satya Sir's, the free class is really made a kind of a big revolution in Tamil Nadu, the Sunday class. So this is the one aspect. The second aspect is the Academy of Physics in Kerala, right? So from 2014 to 2000, almost before COVID, we both traveled to Kerala for giving lectures for Kerala college teachers. So every 2 months once, one Saturday, Sunday, they'll do, or maybe a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So we used to travel from Tamil Nadu to Kerala, and almost it went on more than 6 years. So classical mechanics, mathematics, all the core important papers of MSc in postgraduate level. So he taught the core, the theory, and I did a lot of tutorial problems. So in fact, this 6-year activity made a really a very, very remarkable change in fact, that the teachers used to say, the way they teach in their colleges completely changed. So in a way, in a sense, I can say that these 6 years of Satya Sir's APT lectures made a really a qualitative, maybe quantitative, both qualitative and qualitative changes in the college teachers. In fact, in Sunday class, mostly students, but APT, the Kerala active, that lectures are for completely for teachers, which means every teacher, they will teach to students, right? Which means, so the Kerala physics education, the college, in colleges, the physics education. So if anything happened after 2014, there's a strong role by Satya Sir's teaching. So that is another aspect, right? So in Tamil Nadu, from Sunday class, in Kerala, APT, there is also another facet that's called PTTS, Physics Talent Test Search Exam. So what they do, they will select students from various states, and they will take almost 15 days. They'll choose one college. They get funding from different institutions, and they run for 15 days for almost 30 to 40 students. So the PTTS also, it's a kind of activity. Satya Sir is a backbone of the PTTS program. So he is one of the very important person, and he, in fact, those lectures he did in PTTS is completely different from what he did in Sunday class or APT. It's a completely different type of lectures. And almost 2017, because I was coordinator for 2017 PTTS, I did in Loyola College before 2016, 2018. So almost more than 5 batches so far has gone. And so this is another version, another facet. So the PTTS, the students from various different states, more than 10 to 11 states. So that is another important, remarkable change in their mind. Then there is another aspect of Sir's teaching is, so almost he traveled almost all the important colleges in Tamil Nadu. If you take Tirunelveli, if you take Nagarkoil, in fact, Nagarkoil, his wife, Annalakshmi, is also a senior scientist in IGCAR. She attended his lectures around 1995 or maybe. Then she got inspired and she attended the STRIP program, and she was also a previous Sunday class student. So which means she inspired like Ayyappan. Ayyappan, he did not attend first immediately Sunday class. So he attended Tirunamalai, Dindivanam College. Then only he came to know Sunday class. So wherever he go, some student got inspired, then they come to Sunday class, then their life changed. So which means almost all the colleges, in fact, most of the colleges I traveled after 2011, I traveled with him, Pollachi, Udumalpet, Chennai, so many colleges, and Kadanur St. Joseph's College, we both give lectures. So there is another aspect. Most of the colleges he travel, and just think of, so he is only one life, only so 24 hours. So Sunday class, APT, PTTS, and this so many colleges. There is also another aspect of Satya Sir is, we heard about, there is a institution called River Trust in Kalpakkam. So there's a late Sridhar scientist from IGCAR. He started, and they're running for it's also another important movement in and around Kalpakkam. So in River Trust also, he was one of the advisory member, I think trustee. So where I think in the COVID or before COVID, he taught he gave a training for the reward trust teachers. So that is another aspect. So many, as a single human, we have a 24 hours and 7 days. He almost worked untirelessly, teaching. I think he's a kind of he came for teaching. He was completely a person of teaching. So through his teaching, through his the powerful communication, he transformed so many lives. In fact, I can talk about the Sunday class. In fact, just think of every day he is traveling from Pondicherry to Kalpakkam for his professional life, the University of Pondicherry University, and Sundays he is coming through Sunday class. Then in Saturday during COVID, I think that's the way BSS he got connected. The Breakthrough Science Society, Professor I think George Joseph and Venkatesan, they requested Satya sir to teach to the student BSS students. Then he gave lectures in Saturdays from I think 8 to 10. So that is another version. So we can go on talk about how much passion he has for teaching and so many life he has changed. There is also a very interesting aspect that I should mention here. There is a famous book by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. It's called Annihilation of Caste. So how to annihilate the caste? So there are various ways. And I can say in almost 25 years of Sunday class, people come from different background, different caste, and the love developed by the physics teaching. There are a lot of intercaste marriage happen in Sunday class. Just think of in normal college, of course, there are also marriages, but most of the time they try to keep the same social status, the same type of caste. But here, so many intercaste marriage. The main reason is they got both of them inspired by Satya Sir's teaching, and the Satya Sir's teaching are the physics that he gave to both men and women. The caste is completely disappeared. So I can see that this is another. If you really teach science, very well, automatically even the caste discrimination, the caste feeling also will go on. So in a sense, if so much various aspects of his teaching, and I can keep on explain. So in a way, we lost a great teacher, and it's a great loss to both Tamilnadu and Kerala. Really, here the last 9 months, he fought so much with the pancreatic cancer. We were there. And so finally, the September 16th in the early morning, he left us. Really, we as a student, definitely we will carry forward his legacy. So we make sure that so many students are really wanted to do a lot of things in and around where they are living. So I really, in this occasion, the loss, which I can't even take it easily, I can't forget the whole life. This loss, it's really, I can't even imagine how much he impacted in my life. So I really thank Breakthrough Science Society for organizing this condolence meeting, memorial meeting for Prof Satyanarayana. Thank you all.
If anybody else, any of his students wish to say a few words, they can. When I do not know all their names, so you can volunteer. First, I'll request Professor Yogarajan to say a few words.
Oh, thank you. அன்பு நண்பர்களே, பேராசிரியர் சத்யநாராயணா அவர்களை சந்திக்கக்கூடிய வாய்ப்பு இதுவரைக்கும் எனக்கு கிடைக்கல. அவரை நான் சந்தித்தது எல்லாமே மெய்நிகர் கூட்டங்கள்ல தான், அத்தனையுமே மெய்நிகர் கூட்டங்கள்ல தான். 2020 கொரோனா தொற்றின் போது கடுமையான நெருக்கடி ஏற்பட்டது உங்க எல்லாருக்குமே தெரியும். அந்த தருணத்துல ஒரு முறை ஜார்ஜ் சாரும் வெங்கடேசன் சார் அவர்கள் தான் என்னை அழைத்தாங்க. அப்பதான் என்ன முடிவு பண்ணோம்னா, இந்த மாதிரி நிறைய மாணவர்களுக்கு வந்து போட்டித் தேர்வு எழுத வேண்டியது இருக்கு. அவங்க எல்லாம் வந்து இந்தியா முழுக்க இருக்கிறாங்க. அவர்களுக்கெல்லாம் ஏதாவது நம்ம வந்து உதவி பண்ணலாமா அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு ஒரு விவாதம் வந்து எங்களுக்குள்ள நடந்தது. அதனுடைய முடிவுல பிரேக் த்ரூ சயின்ஸ் சொசைட்டி தமிழ்நாடு என்ன முடிவு செஞ்சுன்னா நம்ம கண்டக்ட் பண்ணுவோம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி. ஸோ அவரோட வந்து நான் வந்து 3 செஷன் வந்து நான் தான் ஹோஸ்ட் பண்ணியிருக்கேன். அந்த 3 செஷன் என்னன்னு கேட்டிங்கன்னா, ஒன்று வந்து முதல்ல நாங்கள் உட்கார்ந்தது வந்து கிளாசிக்கல் மெக்கானிக்ஸ், கிட்டத்தட்ட ஒரு 15 வகுப்புகள் எல்லா சனிக்கிழமையும். அடுத்து வந்து எலக்ட்ரோ டைனமிக்ஸ், அதுவும் ஒரு 10லேருந்து 15 வகுப்புகள் இருந்திருக்கும். அடுத்தது இறுதியாக வந்து குவாண்டம் ஃபிசிக்ஸ், குவாண்டம் மெக்கானிக்ஸ், அதுவும் ஒரு 10லேருந்து 15 வகுப்புகள். உங்க எல்லாருக்குமே தெரியும், சண்டே வகுப்புகள், இங்க ஞாயிறு வகுப்புகள் சொல்லக்கூடிய அந்த வகுப்பு வந்து நேரடியா நடத்தக்கூடிய வகுப்புகள். ஆனா இந்த ஆன்லைன் மெய்நிகர் கூட்டங்கள்ல வகுப்பு நடத்துறதுங்கிறது வந்து மிக கடினமான பணி அப்படிங்கிறத வந்து வகுப்பு நடத்துறவங்களால புரிந்து கொள்ள முடியும். ஏன்னா ஒரு ஒரு உண்மையான கூட்டத்தில் நம்ம பேசும் பொழுது ஒவ்வொரு மாணவர்களுடைய முகத்தை பார்க்கறதுக்கும், அவர்களோட கண்களை பார்க்கறதுக்கும், அவங்க கூட தனிப்பட்ட முறையில பேசுவதற்கும் பலவிதமான சந்தர்ப்பங்கள் வந்து உருவாகும். ஒரு மனிதருடைய சந்தேகத்தை வந்து நம்மளால உள்ளுணர்வா உணர்ந்து அதற்கேற்ற மாதிரி வகுப்பை நம்மளால வந்து டியூன் செய்து கொள்ள முடியும். ஆனா ஆன்லைன் வகுப்புங்கிறது அதுவும் ஏராளமான இப்ப நான் சொன்ன இந்த 3மே வந்து அடிப்படையில் கணித கூறுகளை அடிப்படையாக கொண்டது. மிக கடினமான வகுப்புகள். அதுல நான் ரொம்ப ஆச்சரியமான விஷயம் என்ன பார்க்குறேன்னா வந்து, அவருடைய தளராத முயற்சியை வந்து நான் ரொம்ப ரொம்ப ஆச்சரியமா பார்க்குறேன். அந்த கிளாஸ் வந்து 8:30 மணிக்கு ஆரம்பிக்கும்னு நினைக்கிறேன். 8:30 மணிக்கு ஆரம்பிச்சு 10 மணிக்கு முடியும். நாங்க வந்து என்ன சொல்லுவோம்னா, 8:20க்கு வந்து பேராசிரியர் சத்யநாராயண வினய சொல்லுவோம். அவரோட ஆடியோ, வீடியோ, ஸ்கிரீன் ஷேரிங் எல்லாமே சரியா இருக்கா அப்படின்னு பார்ப்பதற்காக. விடாமுயற்சியோட, தளராமல், மாணவர்கள் கூட தளர்ந்து போவாங்க. ஆனா அவர்கிட்ட நான் என்ன பார்த்ததில்ல, தளர்ச்சியோ சோர்வையோ என்னால பார்க்க முடிஞ்சதில்லை. ஒரு அவருடைய இளமை காலத்தில் நடந்த பல விஷயங்கள் வந்து தெரிந்து கொள்வதற்கு எனக்கு வந்து வாய்ப்பு இல்லை. ஆனா சில நேரங்களில் வந்து பேராசிரியர் ஜோசப் பிரபாகர் வந்து என்கிட்ட சொல்லிக்கிட்டு இருப்பார். இன்றுதான் நானுமே உங்களை மாதிரி வந்து அவருடைய பின்னணியை வந்து நான் தெரிந்து கொள்வதற்கான சந்தர்ப்பம் எனக்கு கிடைச்சிச்சு. இந்த நேரத்தில் ஆனால் நான் என்ன மிக முக்கியமாக நம்மளுடைய பிரேக் த்ரூ சயின்ஸ் நண்பர்கள்கிட்டையும் நேரடியாக இது வரைக்கும் அதில் கனெக்ட் ஆகாத நண்பர்கள் கூடயும் நான் முக்கியம் என்ன கேட்குறேன்னா, இதை வந்து நீங்க பரந்த அளவு இதை செய்யுங்க. இன்னைக்கு வந்து நமக்கு நிறைய வசதிகள் இருக்கு, நம்மளால செய்ய முடியும். உண்மையிலேயே அவருக்கு நம்ம அஞ்சலி செலுத்துறதுங்கிறது என்னன்னா, அவர் எதை வந்து வாழ்க்கையில் லட்சியமா வச்சிருந்தாரோ, எதை அவர் கனவா வச்சிருந்தாரோ, அதை வந்து நம்ம உண்மையிலேயே முன்னெடுத்து செய்வதுதான் வந்து நம்ம அவருக்கு செய்யக்கூடிய உண்மையான அஞ்சலி, உண்மையான ஹோமேஜா வந்து இருக்க முடியும். இங்க வந்து பேராசிரியர் ஜோசப் பிரபாகர் இருக்கீங்க, முனைவர் வெங்கடேசன் இருக்கீங்க, முனைவர் செல்வகுமரன் அவர்கள் இருக்கீங்க, பேராசிரியர் மணி இருக்கீங்க, இன்னும் பலரும் இதுல இருக்கக்கூடும், பேராசிரியர் உமா இருக்கீங்க. நீங்க எல்லாம் வந்து இதுக்கான முன்முயற்சி எடுக்கணும் அப்படிங்கிறது தான் என்னுடைய உண்மையான ஆசை. சென்னை மட்டும் இல்லாம இன்னும் கீழே இருக்கக்கூடிய பல மாவட்டங்கள் இருக்கு. சென்னை மட்டும் இல்லை, நிறைய மாவட்டங்கள் இருக்கு. ஏராளமான மாணவர்கள் வந்து ஏராளமான கஷ்டத்துல வந்து இருக்காங்க. ஒரு சிறு நோட்டா ஜோசப் பிரபாகர் அவர்கள் சொன்னது போன்று பலவிதமான சந்தர்ப்பங்களே கிடைக்காத மாணவர்களுக்கு ஏன்னா திறமைங்கிறதும் அறிவுங்கிறதும் ரொம்ப நுட்பமா நம்ம ஆராய்ச்சி பண்ணி பார்த்தோம்னா அது வந்து ஒரு ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டி, ஒரு சான்ஸ். இந்த உலகத்துல வந்து எத்தனையோ சான்ஸ்ல அது ஒரு சான்ஸ். அப்படிப்பட்ட சான்ஸ் இல்லாத மனிதர்கள் வந்து ஏராளமான பேர் இருக்காங்க. பொட்டன்ஷியல் அப்படிங்கிறது இந்த உலகம் முழுக்க இருக்கு. ஆனா அந்த சான்ஸ் இல்லாதவங்க ஏராளமான பேர் இருக்காங்க. இந்த பேராசிரியர் சத்யநாராயணாவுடைய தொடர்புல நம்ம எல்லாரும் விழிப்புணர்வு பெற்றவர்கள். அந்த லெகசிய, அவர் செய்த பணிய மென்மேலும் பல துறைகள்ல, பல கோணங்கள்ல நம்ம முன்னெடுத்து செல்லணும் அப்படிங்கிறது தான் என்னுடைய உண்மையான ஆசை. நண்பர்கள் அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். உங்களோட சேர்ந்து நானும் வந்து பேராசிரியர் சத்யா அவர்களுக்கு எனது அஞ்சலியை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன். நன்றி, வணக்கம். Over to Jajit.
Anyone else wish to share their?
George, actually, not to, maybe I think Salokkumar sir is speaking. Maybe I thought to not to. Is it possible? I can speak or otherwise.
Oh, you proceed.
Yeah. So
One minute, Professor. Shanmo Priyan.
yeah, somebody is
Yeah. Shanmo Priyan, you may speak.
Yeah, good evening to all. My name is Shanmo Priyan. I started attending Sunday classes from 2009 onwards when I was studying my MScs. And that is the time when I came to know about Satya sir and Sunday class. One of my UG professor told to attend Sunday class, and I started going regularly from 2010 onwards. And then over a period of time, I had a lot of learnings from Satya sir personally. It is not just about solving problems, or it's not about clearing exams, but he instilled the spirit of learning as a joyful activity, that I can say. Because Satya sir used to say that it is not possible for him or any teacher to teach everything to the student, and the student again, we cannot teach everything to the students, and the students may not receive everything we teach. So Satya sir's ideology was to create that learning readiness in students so that they can learn on their own and then they can progress. So this is something that over a period of time, not just a few, but many learned from Satya sir, and then we progressed. And one thing that Satya sir used to say at the beginning of every year during Sunday class, the first session, is that he don't ensure that or promise that people who are attending the class will be able to clear the exams. Rather, he would say that it is the process that is very important than the results. So at the end, while we were learning physics, somehow we were able to clear some exams, and then we could progress. And it is not just me, but many from Sunday class have done it that way. And one more important thing about Satya sir and Sunday class is that sir always gives freedom to ask questions, howsoever the question may be. Initially, once the student doesn't ask questions, he'll also let him be as he is. He won't force to ask questions, and also he won't ask questions to the students, because most of the students are from rural backgrounds or from remote places. They are coming for the class maybe for the first time or for a short while. So he allows the students to settle and then take their time. And over a period of time, once the students start settling, he gives them the freedom to interact and then get to know things. And Sunday class has remained a pillar of learning for over the many years. You know that internet and Android and other things came up in 2014 onwards, and unlimited internet came only after that. So the Sunday class started in early 1996, and until 2019-20 till COVID, he was the main resource for the southern states of India, where people used to call him for different talks. Not only in Sunday classes. When he's not in Sunday classes, he used to take classes in APT, and we also used to go there once in a while. And we learned a lot of life skills as well from Satya sir. He used to help anyone without any expectations. And Sunday class also, he taught every Sundays without getting any money. And he many times said that he don't want money because money does not have any dimension. And moreover, it is a happy activity that he's doing, and whatever he does is something that he relishes on, and then he enjoys learning. And he's the person who has got the benefit of Sunday class for 25 years, he said. So that is something that shows his humility. And over a period of time, we can say that there are also good students over a period of time coming in and out, and that actually maybe motivated him to carry on. And he used to say that I only think about the next Sunday, and I didn't know that it will go along for this 25 years. And that is how he actually said during the 25th year of celebration. And many of my friends, including Joseph sir and Sendil and many others, clear exams, and then many got into very good reputed institutes like IIT, ISER, and many other institutions just because of Satya sir and Sunday class. And it is not just this, he was also part of PTTS and the brain behind it. And this PTTS actually nurtured the BSc and MSc students to train for 2-3 weeks, and they got into higher education institutions. So in a way that he felt that making people clear the entrance exams, making teachers for the society was his top priority. And he also said that. And personally, during some critical situations in my life, some decision-making situations, he was always there and supporting me. Not just Satya sir, but Joseph sir as well. He was there along with me. We were working together in Loyola College until last year he got Polytechnic and left for that. And my sincere thanks and then condolences to the near and dear ones of Satya sir, and especially the family members of Satya sir, Annalakshmi ma'am and daughter of Satya sir and mother of Satya sir, who actually allowed Satya sir to carry on with his passion, teaching Sundays. Almost all the Sundays he was away from the family. Maybe we have to pay the gratitude to them as well, or gratitude or tribute are due to them as well. So in this occasion, I would like to honestly place my thanks and gratitude for Satya sir and Sunday class. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Yeah, thank you.
Joseph Prabhakar, you wanted to say something more?
Just a quick, sorry. Actually, I mentioned various aspects, and of course, Anupuram also one of the long Sunday class student he also mentioned. There are some few, actually, I want to share one or two incidents that we had. Of course, we have so many incidents, but one or two that whatever, we travel, I told, right? We travel so many places, but for everything he sees as a kind of physics. So, one example on the Saru Nanu 2014, I think 13, we went to Karaikudi Azhagappa University for giving lectures on classical mechanics. So he did the lectures and I did a tutorial. So around the lecture on the evening on the 4:35 mudinjiruchi. Then we came back. So 4:30 bus mudichu around Pondicherry night 12:30 I think we reached. The problem is 12:45 Kalpakkam bus. We have a bus. So which means our on the bus, Kalpakkam bus he wanted to catch. So what happened? The Pondicherry bus stand on the bus almost another 5 minutes the Pondicherry bus stand will come. So he just stand up and he was standing in the bus the step and the padikatla you want to immediately get down and you run and catch the Kalpakkam bus. So almost seat I was at the back. So the bus took very sharp turn near Pondicherry. I think most of you are aware that Pondicherry bus stand takkan thirumbuchu. So the Vama Thirumala Sara, but particularly the Sara Kana, I could not find where he is. So which means suddenly he was thrown out and he fell down. But somehow he was all right, okay, no problem. Then immediately we did not so almost over 5 to 10 minutes we did not talk each other. Then slowly he told Joseph, this is the effect of centrifugal force. So just think of a very sad, actually, of course, it's true, right? Because when it took a sharp turn, so he could not catch the handle. So whenever I think when you take a sharp turn, automatically there is a centrifugal force very strong, right? So he just fell down, and so then I could not forget this incident in my life. So what happened? When I was getting a chance to write a physics, Tamilnadu physics textbook, 11th and 12th. So when I was writing the laws of motion chapter, so when I was writing this the centrifugal force chapter, I put a note because I got this lesson from him. Then you should not travel when you are standing. When the bus take a sharp turn, you should not stand on the bus steps. So it's still there. So then he was very happy that okay. So my incident becomes lesson for whole Tamil Nadu, because so likewise. And the another one interesting thing is, so we were traveling, I think one other college, we were traveling from Kalpakkam. So he was asking about entropy. So I tried to give an answer immediately. Then he told, no, this is not an answer. So the whole night I was giving a different answer. He said, no, you try something, you should try something. Then almost the whole night I did not sleep, and I'm giving so many answers. He said, okay, you try something, you try different way, Then next week, Sunday, he came and he gave a lecture. So whatever I told as answers during our travel, he gave as whatever the answer that I gave, he told that is not correct, but the same answer he gave in the class. Then immediately I asked, sir, then he told immediately, Joseph, now Kalpakkam start பண்ணும்போது answer சொல்லிட்டீங்க. அந்த answer நான் correct சொல்லியிருந்தேனா the whole night அதை think பண்ணிருக்க மாட்டீங்க. Would not think that the whole night, but you gave a so different perspective about the entropy. So I want you to think the whole night. So that's why I did not say that you are right. So such a, just think of, so how much he is so very deep in bringing the students, how to kindle the students interest, and how to push the student to think deep. Then he also used to talk about teaching means. He says that you should measure the students not by his answers, should measure the students by what kind of question that he asks. So he says that, okay, if the students, the ability to ask questions, what level of question he is asking, so that is the real measure that he is understanding the subject little deeper and deeper. So there is a beautiful lecture given by CSIR in APT Kerala that's called Physics, How to Teach Physics. So I think that also students should see. And as Anupuram also pointed out, he was saying that what is the role of good teacher? Usually, we have to teach very understandable way. We have to teach everything nicely. We have to solve problems. He says simply, the role of good teacher is make the students to learn on themselves. So because we can't teach, if you take any student, we can't teach everything because we have so much limitation, like we have to complete the syllabus or we have to finish it on time, all those things. There are limitations from the system. So we can't everything whatever the student want, or sometimes the teacher myself may not know everything that student want. So there is always kind of problem, right? So the best thing that teacher can do is, and the student learn so he himself can learn. And the attitude if you try to develop that, students can learn themselves on by own. That is the best thing that a teacher can do. So later I found that the same thing. There is a famous education philosopher, educationist, Paul. So he also told the same thing. So which means the role of teacher is not just transferring information. That's what he said. He the past 25 years, what he did is, because only one Sunday he met the student, right? Just think of normal colleges, one full semester they're taking course, but only one Sunday he met. What more he can teach? Only thing is keep on breaking whatever the inhibition they had in the social structure. He break all those social inhibition. So that is the best thing that he did as a teacher. So that we have to understand how. So why his teaching is so powerful is, independent learner. Like Ayyappan or Anupuram, wherever you talk about so many students, he made all those things, all those students as an independent learner. That's why they are now a good teacher. So that is the thing that I want to share. So that because as a future students who are attending here, they should take this is a message that if you teach somebody, you should make them independent from you. That is the best thing, that message that he gave.
Thank you, Professor Joseph Prabhakar, for a very good experience that he had. Now, anyone else wants to say anything?
Selvakumaran sir, you have to unmute and speak. Selvakumaran sir, you unmute.
I'm audible?
Yes.
Okay. சத்யநாராயணா எனக்கு வந்து 1991 வருடத்திலிருந்து எனக்கு ரொம்ப தெரிஞ்சவர் அவரு. நான் வந்து 1990ல வந்து ஐஜிகார்ல ஜாயின் பண்ணும்போது, அப்ப நான் முன்னாடி வந்து டாடா இன்ஸ்டியூட் ஆஃப் ஃபண்டமெண்டல் ரிசர்ச்ல அஸ்ட்ரோபிசிக்ஸ், அப்புறம் காஸ்மிக் ரே இந்த மாதிரியான துறையில வந்து பணியாற்றிக்கிட்டு இருந்தேன். பட் இருந்தாலும் என்னுடைய பிசிக்ஸ் நாலேஜ்ங்கிறது வந்து நானும் வந்து ஒரு அரசு கல்லூரியில படிச்சு, அதுக்கப்புறம் வந்து டிஏஎஃப்ஆர்ல என்னுடைய பணி நிமித்தமாக பிசிக்ஸை வந்து நான் வந்து ப்ராக்டிஸ் பண்ணிக்கிட்டு இருந்தாலும், அதுக்கு பின்னாடி உள்ள அண்டர்லைனிங் பிசிக்கல் கான்செப்ட் எல்லாம் வந்து நானும் எப்படியாவது கத்துக்கிட்டு அதை பர்ஃபெக்ட் ஆக்கணும் அப்படின்னு சொல்ல முயற்சியில வந்து தொடர்ந்து ஈடுபட்டு இருக்கிற மாதிரியான ஒரு சூழ்நிலையில இருக்கும்போது, மற்ற குடும்ப சூழ்நிலை காரணமாக டிஐஎஃப்ஆரை விட்டு ஐஜிகார்ல ஜாயின் பண்ண வேண்டிய நிலைமை வந்தது. ஐஜிகார்ல ஜாயின் பண்ண பிறகு ஐஜிகாரும் பிசிக்ஸ் தான், பட் ஆனா ஒன்லி ரியாக்டர் பிசிக்ஸ். அதுல வந்து ஃபண்டமெண்டல் பிசிக்ஸ் கான்செப்ட் வந்து ரொம்ப கம்மியா இருக்கும். பிசிக்ஸ் ஆஸ் அ ஹோல் நீங்க வந்து ஃபுல்லா நம்ம மைண்ட்ல வந்து திங்க் பண்ணிக்கிட்டே இருக்கணும்னாக்கா, அது வந்து அதுக்கு வந்து நம்ம எனார்மஸ் எஃபர்ட்டை நம்ம தனியா எடுக்க வேண்டியிருக்கும். அந்த மாதிரி சமயத்துல நான் வந்து ஐஜிகார்ல எந்த இடத்துல ஃபண்டமெண்டல் பிசிக்ஸ், பேசிக் பிசிக்ஸ் ஃப்ரம் காஸ்மாலஜி டு பார்ட்டிகல் பிசிக்ஸ் மாதிரியான ஃபுல் டொமைன், ஈவன் கண்டென்ஸ் மேட்டர் பிசிக்ஸ் எல்லாத்தையும் ஓரளவு திங்க் பண்ணக்கூடிய இடம் எங்க இருக்குன்னு பார்த்தா அது மெட்டீரியல் சயின்ஸ் லேபரட்டரி தான். அங்க அந்த சமயத்துல அந்த மெட்டீரியல் சயின்ஸ் லேபரட்டரியில நிறைய என்னுடைய நண்பர்களே வந்து இருந்தாங்க. கண்மணி, அவர் ஒரு மேத்தமெட்டிக்ஸ்ல வந்து ஆர்வம் உள்ளவர், அப்புறமா சிவகுமார், அப்புறம் ராகவன், இன்னும் பல சீனியர் கேபிஎன் மூர்த்தி, வல்சகுமார் இவங்கெல்லாம் இருந்தாங்க. நான் அங்க போய் அவங்க கிட்ட அப்ரோச் பண்ணி இந்த மாதிரி நான் தனியா படிக்கணும், லேர்ன் பண்ணணும் அப்படின்னு நம்ம கேட்கும்போது அவங்க சொன்னாங்க, நம்ம ஈவினிங் ஒரு பிசிக்ஸ் டிஸ்கஷன் குரூப்னு ஒன்று ஃபார்ம் பண்ணுவோம். அந்த ஈவினிங் வந்து நம்ம ஹாஸ்டல்ல வந்து சந்திச்சு இதை பத்திலாம் நம்ம டிஸ்கஸ் பண்ணுவோம் அப்படிங்கிற மாதிரியான ஒரு முடிவுக்கு வந்து அந்த மாதிரியான ஒரு ஈவினிங் சயின்ஸ் டிஸ்கஷன் குரூப் அப்படின்னு ஒன்று ஃபார்ம் பண்ணோம். அந்த சமயத்துல 1991லயோ 92லயோ சத்யநாராயணா அங்க வந்து ரிசர்ச் ஸ்காலரா ஜாயின் பண்றாரு. அந்த சமயத்துல நண்பர்கள் வந்து என்ன வந்து அவரை வந்து எனக்கு இன்ட்ரோடியூஸ் பண்ணாங்க. அவரும் வந்து இந்த சண்டே கிளாஸ் வருது, இந்த ஈவினிங் அந்த கிளப்ல வந்து அவர் வந்து கலந்துக்கும் போது நாங்கெல்லாம் வந்து கஷ்டப்பட்டு ஒரு பேப்பர் எடுத்து ப்ரிப்பேர் பண்ணி ரொம்ப கஷ்டப்பட்டு கொண்டாந்து அங்க வந்து ப்ரெசென்ட் பண்ணும்போது இவர் ஆஃப் ஹேண்ட் எல்லாத்தையுமே வந்து அதை அனலைஸ் பண்ணிடுவாரு. அந்த அளவுக்கு ஒரு திறமையானவர். நான் அப்போ வந்து நான் கூட அவர்கிட்ட டிஸ்கஸ் பண்ணும்போது கேட்பேன், பிஎஸ்சி டு எம்எஸ்சி பாடம் அட்லீஸ்ட் அந்த ஸ்டூடெண்ட்டுக்கு சொல்லித்தர அளவுக்கு நம்ம எப்போ வேணாலும் எந்த டயத்துல வேணாலும் அப்படியே ஆஃப் ஹேண்டா வந்து சொல்ற மாதிரி பண்ண முடியுமா அப்படிங்கிறத கேட்கும் போது, நான் அவரை கேள்வி கேட்கும் போது அந்த மாதிரி கேட்டுட்டு இருக்கும் போது இந்த பர்சன் வந்து அந்த மாதிரி குவாலிட்டியோட இருந்தார். நீங்க எந்த நேரத்திலையும் பிசிக்ஸ் வந்து எம்எஸ்சி லெவல்ல எந்த டவுட் கேட்டாலும் இம்மீடியட்டா வந்து ஆஃப் ஹேண்டா வந்து பிளாக் போர்ட்ல போனார்னா எந்த புக்கையோ அல்லதையோ நம்ம ரெஃபர் பண்ண வேண்டிய அவசியமே இல்லை, நேரடியா வந்து நமக்கு எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ண ஆரம்பிச்சிருவாரு. அதுவும் எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்றதும் எப்படின்னாக்கா லெவலுக்கு தகுந்த மாதிரி. ஒரு ஸ்டூடெண்ட் வந்து ரொம்ப ஸ்கூல் சில்ட்ரன்னா அவருக்கு எப்படி சொல்லித்தரது, காலேஜில் எப்படி சொல்லித்தரது, ரிசர்ச் ஸ்காலர் மாதிரியான சம லெவல்ல இருக்கும்போது அவங்களுக்கு எப்படி இன்ட்ராக்ட் பண்றது அப்படிங்கிறத ரொம்ப நன்னா புரிஞ்சு அதை வந்து அழகா வந்து அவர் எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணுவாரு. அதை நான் வந்து நிறைய விஷயங்கள் அவர்கிட்ட நான் கத்துக்கிறதுக்கு அவர்கிட்ட இன்ட்ராக்ட் பண்ணி கத்துப்பேன் நான். அவர் சொல்லுவாரு, இதை நம்ம அச்சீவ் பண்ணணும்னாக்கா நமக்கு வேண்டியது வந்து கம்பார்ட்மெண்டல் லேர்னிங் இருக்கக்கூடாது, ரிலேஷனல் லேர்னிங் இருக்கணும். ஒரு கான்செப்டுக்கும் இன்னொரு கான்செப்டுக்கும் எப்படி தொடர்பு இருக்கு அப்படிங்கிறத நம்ம வந்து கத்துக்கணும் அப்படின்னு அவர்கிட்ட நான் வந்து பிசிக்ஸ் கத்துக்கல. அவர் நண்பர்கள்லாம் சொன்ன மாதிரி பிசிக்ஸை எப்படி படிக்கணும் அல்லது சயின்ஸையோ அல்லது எந்த ஒரு சப்ஜெக்டையோ எப்படி படிக்கணுங்கிற அந்த மெத்தடாலஜி இருக்குல்ல, படிக்கிற மெத்தட், அதை வந்து எனக்கு வந்து அவர்கிட்ட இருந்து நான் கத்துக்கிட்டேன். அவர் எனக்கு வந்து ஜூனியரா இருந்தாக்கா கூட அவ்வளோ நாள் வந்து நிறைய இந்த மாதிரி ஈவினிங் டிஸ்கஷன்லாம் இருக்கும்போது கூட அந்த கம்பார்ட்மெண்டல் நாலேஜா இருந்த அந்த ஒரு விஷயத்த எப்படி வந்து ஒன்னோட ஒண்ணு தொடர்புபடுத்தி அவர் சொல்லுவாரு, நீங்க வந்து மல்டி சேனல் அனலைசர்ல வந்து ஸ்பெக்ட்ரம் பிரிக்கிறதும், ஒரு விவசாயி வந்து ஒரு உருளைக்கிழங்குல இருக்கிற உருளைக்கிழங்க வேரியஸ் சைஸ் வாரியா பிரிக்கிறதும் ஒண்ணுதான். அதே தான் வந்து மேத்தமேட்டிக்ஸ்ல ப்ராப்ளம் ஆஃப் சார்ட்டிங்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. ஒரு பர்டிகுலர் அட்ரிபியூட்டுக்கு தகுந்த மாதிரி ஒரு ஆப்ஜெக்டை வந்து தரம் பிரிக்கிறது, அதுதான் ஸ்பெக்ட்ரோமீட்டர். ஸோ அதனால ஒரு அண்டர்லைனிங் பிரின்சிபல் நமக்கு தெரிஞ்சிருச்சுனாக்கா, அது வந்து ஒரு உருளைக்கிழங்க வந்து சைஸ் வாரியா பிரிக்கிறதா இருந்தாலும், அல்லது நம்ம ஆப்டிக்கல் ஸ்பெக்ட்ரோமீட்டர்ல ஒரு ஸ்பெக்ட்ரத்தை அனலைஸ் பண்றதா இருந்தாலும், அல்லது ஒரு காமா ரே ஸ்பெக்ட்ரோமீட்டர்ல ஒரு எனர்ஜிக்கு தகுந்த மாதிரி பிரிக்கிறதா இருந்தாலும், எல்லாமே அதே கான்செப்ட் தான். அது அந்த அண்டர்லைனிங் த்ரெட், ஒரு விஷயத்தை லேர்ன் பண்ணும்போது உன்னோடுக்கு உள்ள அந்த அண்டர்லைனிங் த்ரெட் என்ன, அதை எப்படி கண்டுபிடிக்கிறது அப்படிங்கிற விஷயத்த வந்து ரொம்ப அழகா எனக்கெல்லாம் வந்து சொல்லி கொடுத்துருக்காரு அவரு. அந்த பேஸ் பண்ணி என்னுடைய லேர்னிங் ப்ராசஸ் வந்து ஆக்சலரேட் ஆயிடுச்சு அப்படின்னு சொல்லணும். அந்த அளவுக்கு ஒரு திறமையான ஒரு பர்சன் அவரு. அவருடைய சண்டே கிளாஸ் அதுலலாம் நான் அதிகமா பார்ட்டிசிபேட் பண்ணக்கூடிய ஒரு வாய்ப்பு எனக்கு கிடைக்கல. பட் ஆனா எந்த ஒரு விஷயத்தையும், அது ஒரு பிலாசபியா இருந்தாலும் சரி, அல்லது ஒரு பிசிக்ஸ் கான்செப்டா இருந்தாலும் சரி, என் நேரத்துக்கும் அவருக்கு ஃபோன் பண்ணி பர்சனலா நாங்க நிறைய நேரம் பேசிக்கிட்டே இருப்போம். கல்பாக்கத்துல இருக்கிற போது கல்பாக்கத்துல வந்து அவருடைய ரூம்க்கே போயிருக்கேன். அவருக்கு 65, 66ல வந்து மேரேஜ் ஆச்சு. இந்த மேரேஜ் ஆகிறதுக்கு முன்னாடி வரைக்கும் நான் முக்கால்வாசி அவர் ஈவினிங் டயத்துல அவருடைய ரூமுக்கு அவருடைய வீட்டுக்கு போய் பல விஷயங்கள்லாம் பேசி தெரிஞ்சு கொடுத்து நல்ல ஒரு லேர்னிங் ப்ராசஸ்ல இருந்தேன். அவருக்கு வந்து பல ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ்க்கு எவ்வளவு லாஸ் இருக்கோ அதே மாதிரி என்னுடைய இந்த ரிமைனிங் லைஃப் டயத்துல இந்த மாதிரி பேசுறதுக்கு ஒரு ஆள் இல்லாம போயிட்டார் அப்படிங்கிறது எனக்கு வருத்தம். எனிவே, இது வந்து இந்த லாஸ் வந்து தவிர்க்க முடியாது. ஆனா நானும் அவர் மாதிரி எல்லாருக்கும் நிறைய டீச்சிங்லாம் பண்ணணும் அப்படின்னு ஒரு ஆர்வம் இருந்தாலும் அந்த அளவுக்கு வந்து பண்ண முடியுமா அப்படிங்கிறது மிகவும் அது வந்து ஒரு டவுட் தான். இருந்தாலும் நானும் அவருடைய, அதாவது சில இதுல சொல்லுவாங்கல்ல, நானும் ரவுடி தான் அப்படின்னு ஒரு ஃபேமஸ் ஜோக் வரும். அந்த மாதிரி நானும் ஒரு டீச் பண்றேன் அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு லெவல்ல நான் வந்து அவருடைய பணியை வந்து கொஞ்சம் தொடர முடியுமே தவிர, அவரை வந்து எந்த விதத்துலையுமே நம்ம ரீப்ளேஸ் பண்றதுங்கிறது ரொம்ப கஷ்டமான விஷயம். இந்த விஷயங்களை நான் சொல்லி அவருக்கு என்னோட ஆழ்ந்த வருத்தத்தை அவங்க வீட்டில் எல்லாரும் அதை வந்து தாங்கிக் கொள்ளக்கூடிய சக்தியோட இருக்க வேண்டும் என்று வேண்டிக் கொண்டு என்னுடைய உரையை முடிச்சுக்கிறேன். வணக்கம்.
Anybody else wants to say anything?
Sir, I would like to add on to one point.
Okay.
Sir, like as the thing is that once I met him when during one time of visit with him, I asked a question. He was about to go to Pondicherry University. Then I asked him sir, you have you are teaching for about 25 30 years, and and as a professor you don't have to prepare notes, right? And you don't have to study again to teach. So I asked him, and the immediate reply that I got was that he has to adapt, and he was a constant learner. He used to prepare. I asked, how much effort do you take to give a lecture? Then he told that if he had to teach for 1 hour, he has to study or prepare notes for double the time. For 2 hours he used to prepare. So that much time and effort he is putting on to every lecture, and whenever he takes the lectures, we can understand that it is not possible to a person to just go like this and deliver a wonderful lecture. So the amount of time he puts in, and even though at that level he used to prepare. So I understood that he's a like far better teacher and also an adaptive teacher, not exactly a conventional teacher who just learns it, that's it, or he won't adapt or just learn new techniques, but he used to constantly educate himself and educate us. So I would like to add upon that. Thank you.
Thank you. Now I request Dr. Venkatesan if he is available.
Shall I say something?
Yes.
Okay.
Not something, you have to say lot.
Joseph, then today we cannot end this meeting. So we have many, I think we will have in future also meetings where we will be referring him. That will be our continuous process. He remains in our heart, no doubt. But here, I am associated with him not on Sundays, but all other days. So the charm of Sunday will not be there on other days. So from Monday to Friday, he used to be with us, and as I am his colleague, he was with us, waiting for the next Sunday that I could see. He will look for the Sunday, like many of us also would be waiting for Sunday for different purpose. But that Sunday, more than us who used to enjoy in a very conventional way, he enjoyed the Sunday in a much more different way, really. And he made others to enjoy. That the most hardest subject, physics, can be enjoyed, particularly on a Sunday. I think in the whole world, this is a record. So no one has felt that it was a boring thing. Some of the students felt that they may not be able to cope up, not because they cannot understand, but because they may not be able to give their time and effort. For that reason, students left. Some students could not pursue the benefit, the class, Sunday class. So from Monday to Friday, he was with us. Even those 5 days are really different. Like Selva Kumar, who is also our colleague, he has told that many times he used to call him and discuss over phone. Sometimes the team discuss. If I want to recall just a few points, personally, I used to travel from Chennai, and most of the time in my initial days, I used to stay in a senior hostel there. I don't come back to Chennai. So taking a room, that room is shared. The room belongs to a third person. Myself and Satyanarayana used to share. Just like Japanese leave, I leave the room in the morning, and he returns from the lab in the morning. So whole night he used to be in the material science lab for 2 reasons: to do certain experiments related to his thesis, and also make use of the night time for a peaceful learning, peaceful studies. Morning 8 o'clock he will come to the room, then take rest for about 3 to 4 hours, and again I will see him around 12:30 or 1 o'clock in the office. So minimum time rest, almost 18 hours he used to spend in the lab. So this is how we were spending. So we will not be able to share the common time. When I leave, he comes. And when I stay in the evening, night, he will not be there. So this is how we used to travel. And he used to ride his bike all the way from Chennai on Monday morning after finishing all his works on the Sunday. Late night, he will sleep. Very early morning, he has to get up and he will miss our Adayar bus, what Prabhakar has said, no, that bus from Adayar to Kalpakkam. He will be, he is given a pass to travel in that. He was given a pass, but he will miss that. And he will overtake in a bike so fast, that bus. So, because he has to come at a proper time, the right time into the office. So this is how in the beginning period he was, and then he got married to Analashmi in our lab. And both of them were working in our lab. The one aspect of him is, other than teaching, doing research also is something very innovative. He will be very constantly thinking about a particular problem. He will not just for the namesake produce a research paper. His number of papers are not number is not very high, but the quality is very high. Just for the sake of publication, he doesn't prepare a paper. He will think, try to really figure out what is the, what I can say, the front ranking problem in that particular topic. So there he would like to attack, just by manipulating or doing some kind of a parametric change, running certain computer codes, producing certain results and completing a paper was never his liking. So he was a very good researcher. And that research attitude also made him to learn the subject deep. So when you practice, you learn the theory in a much better way. So practicing scientist, teaching is different from a pure teacher. He was trying to practice what he taught, try to do certain experiments, like say the double slit experiment and so many things he used to do, and certain research notes he used to write. So this is another aspect which helped him to understand and communicate his understanding in a much better way to the students. And he used to watch us, myself and George, that we are also doing something related to science, try to popularize science, not only just popularize science. And our task through this breakthrough society, science society, was to make man think scientifically. So it's not just to make man know what is science, but also make man think science. This is something which was attractive to him. And works that we are doing. So he found that this breakthrough is a different organization compared to an unusual science popularization organization. So then through this, he became a bit closer to us. And as Joseph Prabhakar said, that the cause towards which we work is also aiming at uplifting the downtrodden people, not just materially, not just to help them to come up materially, rather to find out probe the reason for their downtroddenness. And so this is something which he liked. So he was associated with Breakthrough Science Society. He became an advisor. And in our conference in Chennai, he presented the role of science in the society. Why the society should learn science. So that was his speech in our conference. And from that time onwards, though he was not very actively participating in our, what I can say, the activities, but he was constantly supporting us in many other ways. And he was a person whom we could seek help if you want to clarify the philosophical aspect of certain modern sciences. So for that, the ready reckoner was Professor Satyanarayana. And that is how he involved in teaching us the history of quantum mechanics, the philosophical aspect of quantum mechanics, when we were making a series of lectures based on the history of science. So these are all in our record, and I cannot forget all those things. And now, actually, after my retirement from the service just a year ago, I was having a plan, and I visited him in the Pondicherry University, and I was discussing with him that something now tangible to our liking we want to do. And he said, yes, very well, I'm always there supporting to you. So I was thinking that we can plan something and do something, and he will be associated with whatever I was planning, the future activity of Breakthrough Science Society, to develop some critical learning centers for the students. But unfortunately, a very important resource person we are missing now, and it is a personal loss. It is a loss for our Breakthrough Science Society, and as many of you have told, it's something a painful disappearance of a person, Professor Satyanarayana. So with deep pain in my heart, I feel that I should carry on the spirit, what was there in him, which made him to serve the society in the best way of how he can do. So I must carry on the spirit and try to do what best I can do. If not teaching physics, but try to do what I can do the best. Thank you.
I think we can conclude. I think the best tribute that we can give to Professor Satyanarayana is to do something, at least a bit of what he dreamed and what he practiced. So I feel that all of us can try to pursue a bit, follow his footsteps in trying to create an atmosphere in the society where good learning and teaching can be there. With this, let us conclude the session.
Thank you.